it was sort of like the starting process for me. Like, okay, here's something I can do to get prepared. You know, I'll just go ahead and cut my hair. There's things I can do, because I guess that's kind of how I work, like in situations where I don't, especially, like I don't have any control over this brain tumor or my treatments or anything. So what can I control, you know, in my own circumstances? Okay, well, I can go ahead and cut my hair. I can get myself prepared to do this treatment. And it was sort of like when I laid on the table for the first time for my dry run, and I realized this is really happening. This is really it. Like, here we go. You know, the next 7 weeks of my life is going to be totally dedicated to this. And so I think that, you know, that first cut, it was like that first step of starting the treatment. I've been thinking about it, and it's one aspect of my life where being stubborn is sort of helpful, because I don't have a choice. This is my only option. I can't get surgery. I can't not do anything about it. I don't want to do traditional radiation. So proton therapy, I mean, if you lay it out like that, that's my option. I just wanted to go. You know, it's like, let's go, let's start this, and let's do it. And I wasn't really scared. I mean, I don't want to say excited, because that sounds like I was looking forward to it, but eager to just start and get it moving was really where I was mentally. The first time I got on the table and they tried everything on was the first time that I felt truly frightened and truly anxious. There aren't a lot of things that I'm afraid of, but having, you know, laying there and realizing this is completely out of my hands, completely. And I have to trust these people and these doctors, because I realized this is it. Here we go. It's really happening. And I'm going to do this every day, 5 days a week for the next 7 weeks of my life. And I'm going to hope that the 90% success rate applies to me. And I haven't even asked my doctor, like, what happens if this doesn't work? Because I don't even want to mentally go there. I just believe that it will work. That's all I can do.
The limit to 16.3, it's now 2 intensity, 98 monitor units, 2 minute time, 10.2 range, 9.2 SOBP, 12x12 wobbler, stop jaws are good, and 1370. Sounds good.
Okay, that's it for this field. I'll have another in 5.
You know, it's really easy to get wrapped up, like I said earlier, in like the what ifs. And the what if this doesn't work, and what if I don't feel good tomorrow, and what if I don't feel like doing this, or whatever. I mean, it's really way too easy for a lot of people, I think, to get, you know, wrapped up in that. It's like a mental loop. You just go over and over, and you just get caught in it. And once you're in it, it's so hard to get out. So I just don't allow myself to go there. I just try to stay as positive as I possibly can and keep doing the things that I love to do and be around the people that I enjoy being around and do the best work I can. I mean, that's what life is supposed to be. And brain tumor or not, I'm going to keep doing what I do.
And we'll do that again. That's why I always make like several balls of clay.
Clay's been something I've always been interested in. You know, I've done photography, I've dabbled in other mediums, but clay is one of those things I've always wanted to try. And then I signed up for a class, and I took a class, and I was like hooked. I was hooked immediately. I was horrible, but it didn't matter. It was just so fun. And so when I was having a bad day at work, or I was just having a bad day, or even if I wasn't having, whenever, I would run over there, because it's like 2 minutes. You know, I'd run over there and try to throw a bowl or a cup or whatever really quick, get dirty, and then go back to work. And it was so therapeutic, you know, just to have fun. And I mean, you know, it doesn't matter if you're not any good. You know, it can be a real lifesaver, a real sanity saver, you know, to try to make a cup 50 times and fail. I mean, there's just something about it. It's a lot of fun. You know, I was diagnosed with depression. I was prescribed an antidepressant, which really hurt more than helped. I was diagnosed with vertigo and water in the ears, and prescribed Claritin, which doesn't clear up a brain tumor.
With the eye doctor?
I went to the eye doctor. I went to, the ER. I went to the walk-in clinic. I went to my regular doctor. I went to the chiropractor. I went to an acupuncturist. I was trying everything.
Mold test?
I did a mold test in the house, lead test. Went to the gynecologist. I was trying everything I could think of. I think we did a radon test here. I mean, everything. Lyme disease test. Because I was going to the doctor and everybody was telling me, you're fine. We don't see anything the matter with you. I didn't even know a meningioma was a thing. It never even occurred to me. And I didn't know what the symptoms were because it wasn't even on my radar. When you start off, you have headaches. You're like, okay, well, maybe it's allergies. Or I sit at a computer all day. Maybe that's it. So you think, I'll get my eyes checked. So you do that, nothing comes up. You're still having headaches. Oh, now you're having halos in your vision. You're thinking, wow, I'm really sitting at the computer way too long every day. So, you try another route, and you keep trying these things, and everything comes up, negative. And towards the end, this is over several months of this headaches and halos and things like that. I started losing strength in my hands, where I couldn't even put my hair in a ponytail. This was like right before I got diagnosed, and I was going to get an MRI. Couldn't put my hair in a ponytail, couldn't drive, couldn't button my jeans, things like that. My MRI was delayed because even with insurance, it was going to be like $1,300 or $1,500. And at the time, there was there's just no way. So a friend of mine referred me to an MRI clinic in Indianapolis that does MRIs for $600. Now, that's something you can pay off, even if you're low income, within a year. $1,500, that's not possible for a lot of people. And that place, I think I can safely say that place saved my life. Thinking about it now and reading about all these symptoms, it's amazing that some of these doctors didn't pick up on something. And I called all of them, not as like I told you, but because I feel like if I were in the medical profession and somebody had come to me with something so serious and I hadn't been able to diagnose it, I would probably want to know. I was met with different reactions, and like the acupuncturist was like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, well, you're not a doctor, but I just thought you might want to know if anybody ever comes to you with these kind of symptoms. The doctor that finally said, you need to go have an MRI, she wanted to see my MRI results, and she was very interested in learning more and understanding so that in the future she could properly diagnose patients. That makes me feel a little bit better that, and hope that if it saves one person from the stress and trouble of going through that, then it's worth it. And I think it's so easy to get prescribed something. They just prescribe you something to cover up the symptoms. Well, covering up the symptoms wasn't gonna save my life.